Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Juliet, and in today's video I'm going to be making pan kernel soup. It's also called Banga soup or Ofe Akwu or Akwu, depending on the part of Nigeria that you come from. And this is a popular soup eaten in Nigeria, and you can eat it with a variety of carbohydrate meals. And also there are different ways to make banga soup depending on how you prefer it or what part of Nigeria you come from. There are different ways of making banga soup, and in today's video I'll be using fresh fish. I'll not be adding meat, it's just fish I'm using for this recipe. So as you can see, I've got the palm kernel sauce opened, and I'm scooping out the oil at the top. I usually don't like too much oil in my soup. I might add it later if it is needed, or I'll save it to use in another recipe that require palm oil in it, so I can save it in the freezer and use it later. As you can see, I'm scooping the palm kernel sauce into a bowl and I'm pouring boiling water. This process I'm using is just to remove the sediments in the sauce, because during the processing of the sauce you have a lot of particles and sediments, including sand, that go into the sauce, and I don't want to taste this in my soup. I usually use this process to remove the sediments. So I'm going to set this aside and leave it to settle for about 5 minutes, and then I'll gradually pour it into the pot. There is no need to use a strainer because the particles will go through the strainer, and as you can see, all the sediments, including sand, you can see it at the bottom, and I'm going to pour this away. It's not going into the soup because I don't want to taste sand in my soup. And I'm going to put this on the heat and start adding other ingredients that I'll be using. So here I'm adding the blended Scotch bonnet and onions, and I'll be adding salt and chicken bouillon stock as well. Then I'm going to cover this soup to build up the temperature. I'll just cover it for a short period to build up the temperature, because I'll be cooking the soup down to reduce in liquid, for the liquid to reduce. So I'll be cooking it for about 30 minutes. So while that is cooking, I'm going to show you the spices that I'm using for this banga soup. So this is Orima spice. It's a very aromatic spice, and I've blended that into powder, so I'm using the powder, not the seed. And I've also got the Beletete. It's a leafy herb that is used in banga soup, and it adds a depth of flavor to the soup. So after 10 minutes, I'm removing the lid, and you can see the soup is already sizzling, and I'm going to add the crayfish and the Orima spice, and I'll leave it to continue to cook down. I'm not covering it again. So after about 30 minutes, you can see the liquid has reduced significantly. So I'm adding the fish. The fish I'm using is the croaker fish. I prefer croaker fish in my banga soup, but you can use any fresh fish of your choice. So after adding the fish, I'm not going to be stirring the soup because I don't want the soup to break apart. So I'll leave this to cook for about 10 minutes. So you can see the soup has thickened, and I'm going to add the Beletete. and leave it to cook for another 1 minute. So the soup is almost ready at this stage. And that's the beletete going in. And even when I stir the soup, I'm very careful. It's very gentle so that the fish don't break apart. I need the fish intact because that's what I'm going to eat when I'm having my pounded yam or starch, whichever one I want to use. You can see the soup has thickened. It has thickened a lot, and you can see the fish is intact. At this stage the soup is ready. I usually don't like my soup to be too thick because as it cools down it gets thicker, and you don't want it to be too thick. So I leave it to settle for about 5-10 minutes just to allow all the flavor to be absorbed into the fish. And I usually have this with pounded yam or starch. In Delta is popularly eaten with starch, and I'll be sharing with you how I make my starch in future videos. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like and share. I'll see you next time. Bye.